Good morning, my lovelies. How are you today? My name is Red Moon Eagle. You are watching Daily Devotions with Red Moon Eagle, and this is a banked video for future release. I do these every once in a while. I am hooked into my grounding therapy, Stickums, and it's really helping. I've had a lot of pain the last couple days. And today's banked video is going to be fun. So we're looking at sequencing in 4 different decks. So I pull from the Sacred Geometry Activations, Delanute Oracle, which is 1-5-2-6-3-7 Musule, and 4-8 the Lantern Oracle. And in these particular sequencings and how they work together, it's quite dynamic. And so Astral has been liking to come and join us. Do you want to come and sit? There she is. You gonna sit down? The birds are really loud today, so I had to close the window, but we'll see if she sits. Are you gonna sit, or are you just gonna walk across? Okay. So the third eye chakra, don't rub, please. That is not in a good place for you to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna see if my little card stand here works. Third eye chakra, is that, there we go. It's not ideal, but the frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination, and our psychic powers. The flower of life is a geometric shape recognized by many cultures around the planet. It consists of 13 equal circles that intersect at the middle of each circle, creating a perfect proportioned flower. As a symbol, the flower of life represents the universe as a whole, as well as the harmony in which the separate components of the universe work together. This beautiful pattern is often used to indicate our understanding of our connections as humans and as spiritual beings to the whole. The color indigo is associated with the 6th or the third eye chakra, located in the middle of the forehead just above the bridge of the nose. It is linked to our intuition, our insights, our ability to see beyond the 3-dimensional reality into our inner and outer world, so that the conscious can merge with the unconscious. In many cultures, the indigo color has been traditionally associated with royalty, power, and wealth, as we often assign our authoritarian figures a higher consciousness that is based on deeply rooted connection to source. Okay, so the 1-5 here is the beginning of our sequence. The intuition and the knowing, our imagination, and the intersection of the spirit and the human consciousness, the human meat suit is what I call it, okay? Okay, so we'll come back to this one. Delanute, this card today is the Princess and the Frog. It's a really pretty picture here. Princess and the Frog. My story. I am a princess. One day I was playing in the royal garden with my golden ball, and it dropped into a pond. A strange frog appeared and proposed to retrieve the ball under the condition that I accept to marry him. I accepted too carelessly. That night, the frog showed up at the palace. My father lectured me, and forced me to keep my word. Alone in the bedroom with the frog, I was so disgusted, I threw him against the wall. He then turned into a charming prince. The message: you have made a promise, you have given your word, maybe too hastily and carelessly. Anyway, you must meet your commitment. You cannot weasel out of your responsibilities. Of course, the situation seems to have a very bad side that you don't want to cope with. However, maybe there's a hidden gift there, but you will only find it by being true to your commitment. So 2-6 sequencing dynamic is pretty powerful here. The 2 will mirror and get lost in their commitments. So, and a 6 will run away. Not all the time. That's a blanket statement. I just mean that in the 2-6 dynamic, it can be very uncomfortable to know when to commit, when not to commit, to figure out where you get lost in your commitments if you're making them too hastily, and also where you're running away from things when it's uncomfortable and you don't know what to do. And we're going to talk some more about this because this is really important with the third eye chakra card. Mesule, the Oracle of Swords. This is the 3-7 in the sequencing. Abaddon is our card, the Overlord of the Abyss. Really cool card here. So Abaddon is in the realm of Sheol. Like Urkala, the realm of Sheol is concerned with bright and dark dualities. Where Urkala focuses on the emotional experience, Sheol centers on the extremes of human sin and holiness. To dwell in Sheol is to submit to the judgments of the absolute, to suffer between difficult requirements of grace and the easy torments of corruption, and to have the courage to discover where you fall in your overall contribution to the good of the world or evil. The Overlord of the Abyss, an unknowable alien being with the great devil of the abyss. Abaddon wages eternal war on Mesule, the El Shaddai, and the Elohim. The Lord of pestilence and corruption, he is a methodical, thorough destroyer who nonetheless enjoys using trickery to seduce souls away from El Shaddai and his enemies. Abaddon represents the inclination towards the evil world, the worst of all instincts and actions, natural and unnatural. Where other demons and devils engage in their cruelties out of ego, delusion, or twisted sense of vengeance, Abaddon knows what he's doing and takes pleasure for the evil of its own sake. The domains of pestilence, corruption, and malice. Ooh, there's a 3-7 dynamic there. I'm going to go into all these a little deeper. I don't want to get lost in that one. The Lantern Oracle, 4-8. Voice, number 30. Another beautiful card. So the Voice is number 30, and this is part of the Guardian phase, midlife, empowerment, selfhood, authority, meaning, composure, gifts of renewal, and insight. You are here to be known, to speak, and be seen. Family, culture, and society have often demanded silence and invisibility. Sometimes, early in life, silence and invisibility are even necessary means for survival. However, at some point in our lives, we need to release our light from the shadows and shine our uniqueness in the world. Initially, the very thought of expressing ourselves may stir up fears of criticism, rejection, and abandonment. Nevertheless, it is always up to us to whether our fears stop us or we persist alongside them till they dissipate. To withhold our unique gifts results in trapped energy that turns negative and is potentially toxic to our health and well-being. Allowing your spirit self to sing nourishes and expands. The Guardian assures you that living according to your spirit self will not betray you. It is you and has your back, often in ways that you are not immediately obvious. Nonetheless, hindsight will always reveal that being true to yourself is a way of fulfilling the love, security, and completeness that you seek. It is a time of tuning into your voice from your heart's center. It may involve tuning out an unsupported external force. Allow your body, thoughts, and heart to breathe in, tune with your spirit self, beat, and vitality so miracles and blessings can reach you. You are the only person who can proceed to make you visible or invisible. The Guardian's message: your difference is your blessing and responsibility to share. Okay, so powerful card. The cool thing about, and this is why I really wanted to, I was so excited when I drew these cards, because it would be really easy to go, oh, I'm not listening to my intuition, I'm not being honest to my responsibilities, I'm doing it with intention, I'm being evil, and I'm not using my voice. That would be an easy message. That is not what these cards are. It was fascinating how I drew them today. I was drawing for my regular daily devotion, and I drew these cards, and I drew them out of the sequencing order. Normally I draw 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4, 8. That's not what happened. I drew 4, 8 first. And I thought, I wonder why I drew that first. So in this particular sequence, there's a different dynamic going on. The 4, 6 card is not actually as much of a representation of the 4-6 dynamic in this. It is very much a 3-7 dynamic today. So when I'm doing this, I'm looking at 1-5, third eye, honoring your spirit self, supporting your inner knowing, your intuition, your imagination, right? Really being present here. And then I drew 2-6. What are the commitments that you've made that you might not be honoring? Your spirit self may need you to do this as part of your blueprint, but what are you not honoring, and what are you avoiding in the treasure of that commitment? And are you running away from it? And then the 3-7 is actually this card in this particular sequence. And the 3-7 voice is really the activation of the upper heart chakra. So one of the things, I've been doing this for a long time now, getting people to use this voice area, because most people think of voice as your throat chakra. I have totally said that, and I've been wrong, and I'm admitting that. Because one of the things that I lean back on all the time is this collar of power that every single human body has. And when you activate voice using exercises like la, na, da, ta, do you see where the muscles are moving? And how far down it goes? And then feel your throat. Where is your voice box? Where is the sound vibrating from, right? Wherever that is, all of this, when you're singing, when you're making sound, when you're loose in that area, so I'm tipped to show you that from that throat place. But when I do this from a connected place to my collar of power, I have more resonance. And the reason I have more resonance is I'm pulling from here. When I talk like this, I get high because there's tightness. When I go into this spot and I align my body, there's resonance here. And one of the things you can do, you can tap. Do you hear that? It's rumbly, it's broken. It's because I need to practice, and I haven't done that this morning. But sound is so powerful, and having your voice and being heard and speaking your truth from here is extraordinarily powerful. Your third eye, in the number sequencing, your third eye is 7. And the sequence connector in this is 3, and 3 is high heart. It's the manubrium. It's right here in your collar of power. It connects everything together. Your K27s connect there, your shoulder pulse points, your back shoulder pulse points, and your wheel in the back. They all connect to this collar of power. And when you're speaking your truth and you're in your voice and you're honing in, I love how 3s have the ability to distill. There's a distillation of really leaning into who you are, trusting your third eye, trusting your voice, trusting your connections to make the commitments and honor those commitments from a place of authenticity. And that's where this resonance comes into play. And there's a lot of voice exercises you do. I totally recommend go onto YouTube, find some voice exercises that help you connect into breath, your low breath, your mid breath, your high breath, and any voice exercises that show you about how the palate moves, your tongue in your soft palate, like really like up and down, side to side. How do you stretch and use sound and voice to loosen all of that? Because as you loosen that, you also loosen the stuff that's here. You open your collar of power, which then connects all of your higher head stuff, mind stuff in the body, mind, spirit, emotion paradigm. It opens that up, connects you to your heart space. Your heart space is so important. You need your heart space. And using your voice means being able to authentically use your voice means connecting your intuition, your higher self, in with the sound, out of the mouth. Because if you think about it, third eye, throat, right? And then your upper heart. This whole upper heart area is so vitally important. And then we get to our 4-8 card. What happens when you cut your voice off? When you cut your voice off and you use your voice out of alignment with your higher self. If you have this cut off from this, from all of your lower connections, you can go to a place very easily of manipulation. You can go to a place of corruption, of using your words in malice, in hurt and anger. One of the things that I am very sensitive to is people saying things that are out of alignment to the authentic self and the holding their integrity. When people say things that are hurtful to me, my first instinct is not, oh my God, you hurt me. My first instinct is, what is hurting in me, and why does it hurt in me? And did they mean it, right? Because sometimes we say things and we don't mean to be hurtful, but we don't know why it is hurting someone else. If you're not empathic, you can say, I've said things. I've had friends call me out and go, Red, that was really hurtful. I'm like, I'm sorry. I did not mean to hurt you, but I was out of alignment. Usually it's because I get tight here too. I do my voice exercises, not every day, but I do them frequently. I make sure that I go through all of the tonal values. I make sure that I tap. I do a lot of tapping here with my open hand and cup it to get that to loosen it up. Astra does not like my voice exercises. But this is really a warning card. It's warning us in the 4-8 sequence of what happens when you're not being authentic and you're not holding your integrity of self. When you're not connected to your voice, this is what happens. It goes sideways. Energy has to go somewhere. In physical science, we talk about potential energy, right? Like it's potential kinetic energy. When the ball is at the top of the hill, there's potential energy, and you can do an equation to calculate the potential energy outcome using basic math. Okay, algebra. But the kinetic energy that you're expending has an outcome, and your voice has outcomes. And what can happen when you're out of alignment with voice is that you can overcommit by accident, you can not honor your commitments, and you can also become somebody who is perceived to be malicious, manipulative, and not connected to, and you can spread negativity, right? Like spreading negativity is a thing. I've totally done it by accident, totally, because I was hurt or I was upset or I was swirling in my own whirlpool. We all have this happen. No one is exempt from it. If you are going to think that you're going to live the rest of your life and never trip into Abaddon, that would be your ego. We are in a human manifestation and we are going to make mistakes. So we have to use the tools that we have around us. We rely on community to hold us to our commitments. We rely on tools and techniques I use the voice thing. Do I do it every day? Absolutely not. If I did only self-care, I would never get anything done. I parcel out. I use what I need. I have a toolbox of things I can use. I have a little thingy, and I don't think I have it downstairs. I have a notebook that I have a list of things that I can choose from. Like, I woke up with a headache. This is something that I know works for me. It's in my little notebook so that when I get up, drink my water, go back to bed, do my exercises, I've got a toolkit there going, oh, I'm not feeling so good. Like today, I'm doing my my grounding therapy. So I have these little tabs, these little sticky things, and I hook my grounding cord into it. Really easy, and I'm using that because I woke up today and I was in a lot of achy pain. I feel a lot better now. Actually, I think I'm gonna move them up to my knees, because now that I've had them hooked up for a while, I'm realizing my knees are actually the ones that are hurting. It's not my ankles. So clearly I need to adjust. But what I'm saying here is voice is so important. Connecting to your collar of power, connecting to the 3 in your body. No matter what your biological natural connection is, no matter what your natural biological activation is in your life and how it manifests, we all have the potential to connect into each and every one of these activations in our body and use them when we need them. Biologically, I'm probably not a 3. I probably don't live here, but boy, I know the value of connecting that, and I use it. If you go back to a lot, and I still say it, my place of peace, right here is my place of peace. And when I connect in every morning and I know that I've done my daily devotional and I've really landed, there is a resonance that comes from this into my collar of power, connects my head biological connections, it connects my body biological connections, and I feel in the body completely and ready to address the meat suit experience of my life. And I wish that for everyone. So today's cards are a little different. I would normally draw them in a different order, and I read them to you in the order, but I want you to know that voice is definitely part of that 3-7 today. It is a little different in the sequence because normally this deck is very much the 4-8, but it's the 3-7 today. It is the 3-7. It's very much about finding your voice, speaking your truth, leaning into being heard, and not being so afraid, because if you go to the place of fear and you don't speak from that, it can go sideways. It can go to a place of manipulation, to the tendency that we all have. We all have shadow. We all do things to self-preserve that can feel like somehow we're doing an evil thing. I don't think anybody's really evil. I think people do the things they need to survive, and some of that comes across a little sideways. I hope you all have a beautiful day. I hope you all have a wonderful journey today. Find your voice. I wish you the best, and blessed be. And I will see you in prayer again another day.